Hey, test groupers, how are you guys? Super excited right now because we have John on the line with us, and he was an official corporate test grouper with Shift Shop, and he and his wife. And we're gonna get to hear from him and his story, and as they went through the group, what they experienced, and the highs and the lows, and just kind of. And if you have questions, like if you're watching the recording of this and you have questions, post them below. I'm sure we can reach out to John and his wife and ask them, see what they've gone through. And then, of course, if you're watching live, John's going to open it up to Q&A at the end. So we're excited to hear from him. And I actually met John last week in New Orleans when we went and did our Coach Summit group, and we stayed at the same motel. And I walked downstairs in the morning, I'm busting out my workout and I'm streaming it, and then this guy walks in the gym, John, and I'm like, oh, here, do you need some weights? And he's wearing, I think you were wearing some wear and share. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I think I had a Core de Force shirt on.
Core de Force, yep. And I'm like, what workout are you doing today? He's like, we were sharing back and forth. He's like, actually, I just did the test group. I'm like, no way. So I got to hear a little bit of his story, but now I want him to share his story with you guys so you can hear a little bit about it. So go ahead, John. You can take the floor.
All right, Whitney, thank you so much. Yeah, so like she said, it was completely random. We stayed in a hotel one night at that hotel, and then we went and got a house for the next 6 days. So it was just God delivering us together so that we can share right now. So our story is really, my wife started about almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, and her whole story is more internal. She has health issues, she has allergies, and so she's not able to get a lot of the nutrients, vitamins, minerals that most people are able to get. So speak of the devil, we're here in our car in a parking lot, and my beautiful bride we just started, babe. And so they kind of want to know a little bit of our story. So why don't you, is Whitney, Bridget, Whitney?
Hey, Bridget.
Hello.
So just kind of share your story.
So good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
This is so cool, so random. We were just talking about how we met in the gym, and John was telling me all about you guys and your journey with it. I'm like, I need to hear this. I need to have my test groupers hear this, because this is amazing what you guys have done.
So maybe just kind of share how you got started, our whole story, just kind of sum it up, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the Shift Shop test group.
Tell about how I got started with Beachbody?
Right, yeah, like your health issues and Shakeology.
Oh, okay. Well, mine kind of goes back a little bit. I'll briefly explain my story. When we moved to the Palm Springs area about
15 years ago.
Yeah. And shortly after that, I started developing allergies to the environment, which I didn't know at the time. So I'm very highly allergic to my environment. So I'm allergic to the palm trees and to the dust and to the dirt and to the seeds that we reseed our grass with. And I've never been allergic to anything before, ever. And it made it very difficult for me as far as food goes, because I found out by going to an allergist and going to a nutritionist, just kind of digging deeper into my allergies, it basically showed that my allergies were spreading out into my foods. So because I'm allergic to the palm trees, I'm allergic to bananas, potatoes, kiwi, wheat, all of these things that I've never been allergic to before. And I could eat something one day and then the next day eat it, and my body would just reject it. I would go into kind of like an anaphylaxis kind of thing, and I spent more times in the ER than I, wish upon anybody. But so I was getting very, very depressed. I was getting very weak and tired. I was losing weight very, very quickly, and I needed to figure out why. So I have been through the gamut of tests and trying to find things, and of course everybody was like, oh, try this, try that, this is going to work, try this vitamin, try this, and nothing was working. So it wasn't until I was talking to my sister and she said, have you ever tried Shakeology? And I said, I've never heard of it. I don't know what's in it. There's probably allergic to it. I probably can't have it. And she said, well, let's, call our friend Rachel, who's our upline. And she said, go over it with her to see if there's anything in it that you can't have. So I did. I called Rachel. We went over every single ingredient. There was nothing in it that I couldn't have. So I said, I'll give it a try. So I ordered my first bag, and within the first 30 days, I started to feel better. Not great, but I started to feel better. Then I called her and said, I need another bag. And she goes, okay, you're going to order a challenge pack. And she's like, you're going to get your workout program. I said, no, I'm not ready to start working out yet. And she's like, I know, but when you are, she's like, you're going to have it. And so I said, okay. So I started on my second bag, and that's when I started to feel great. And then it wasn't until my third bag that I truly felt a difference in my body and my system, and I felt human again. And my kids were noticing. John was noticing, and John said to me, I don't know what is in that stuff, but you're never going off of it, because I don't ever want you to go back to the woman that laid on the couch and her phrase every day was, I just don't feel good. Yeah. I couldn't even walk to the mailbox.
She was the girlfriend I dated 20 years ago.
You're like, score.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm like, you are so healthy now. Yeah. And you're the person I married a long, long time ago.
I mean, we were active when we were dating, and we did so many things together. And then for me not to be able to do that, it was just like, so Shakeology, I just want to say Shakeology has not cured my allergies at all. By any means has it cured anything, but it has replenished and replaced the nutrients and the vitamins and the minerals that my body has been lacking for years. So I drink Shakeology daily. I do not miss a day of it. And I use it just to feel better overall daily. So that's my story in a nutshell.
And then
he started drinking my shakes.
I was going to say, he started stealing them from you, must have.
He was. Because he was doing something different. And I asked him if he wanted to try them. And he said, no, I like mine. Yep. And I said, fine. And then I started noticing my shakes were leaving my canister a little bit quicker. And I said, you're drinking my shakes, are you? And he goes, yeah. I am. He goes, I like your shakes much better than mine. And so I was like, well, buddy, you're going to have to order your own, because these are mine.
So she's like, I'm going to sign you up with a challenge pack. So what was happening is she was feeling better. I could see her more vibrant. And I was the type of guy that I thought I was working out. I was the healthy guy. And so what I would end up doing is I do like some sit-ups, I do some push-ups, some jumping jacks. I go for a 20-minute walk around the neighborhood before work. And then from there, I would actually just end up, getting ready for work and going off to work and going, hey, you know what? I'm healthier than most of these guys. Yeah. And then I saw her and I'm like, oh, wow. And then she was doing 21-day fix. I'm like, wow, this is only 30 minutes. That's about what I spend. Okay, you know what? I'll join in. She's cute. And so he's no Shaun T, I'll give you that. But
true.
But and so I started doing that. I was like, wow, I really liked it. I didn't do the Pilates and I didn't do the yoga, but I would do the upper and the lower. Then I do my own thing. It took me a while. And then she was like, okay, you need to get your own. And so I'm like, okay, am I looking here? Because I feel like I'm always looking somewhere else.
You're good.
And so I ended up getting the hammer and chisel, because this is before, complete all access to where we can have everything in the catalog, which I love that, by the way. And so I ended up getting hammer and chisel. And I think I shared that with you. If I haven't, let me know. I'll share it and you can kind of put it in the thread, whatnot. But I lost about 26 pounds in 60 days doing that. And then I realized, what I thought I was a workout before, no, not quite. Then from there, when that got done, then I did 22-minute hardcore. And then from there, I started to do core to force. And I had some great results. So great that actually Joel Freeman, the super trainer, he actually reposted my results going, hey, any dad can be a fit dad like this guy. And so so that was really encouraging. And then from there, I was just kind of doing Body Beast on my own, and I got a call from corporate when we were driving somewhere with all the kids, and said Santa Monica on there. And Bridget.
And when you get a call from corporate, you stop and you pull over and you answer the phone. You do not let it go to voicemail.
We didn't know. It just said Santa Monica. It didn't say Beachbody. It didn't say anything.
No,
it just said
but
Santa Monica. But this one here, she's a 2-star. I'm a diamond. At the time, I think I was barely diamond. I was probably still trying to qualify.
Yeah.
And so they're like, John, have you checked your email? I'm like, no, we're out and about. She's like, well, check your email and call me back. And so I'm like, yes, ma'am. And so as soon as I got done with that call, I checked my email, and it was asking if I wanted to be part of a test group. And so I called her back in about 30 seconds, and she answered. I'm like, this is John. We just talked. She's like, yes. I'm like, my answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Whatever it is, yes. And so I'm still so new that it wasn't even on a dream list or bucket list. Like, I get into the group, and there's 300 people total in this challenge group.
Yeah.
And with that being said, probably a good 50 to 75, if not more, are corporate people watching what we're doing. So I always say there was probably about 200 challengers that were in this group. Now, they're everybody you know. They're Bonnie Ingalls. They're Steph Davies. They're Melanie Mitro. Kim and Jamie Fitzpatrick. You know, you name it, they're in this group. And there were some people that were like myself. That there's a couple people that they were just husbands. They weren't even coaches, but they tried to really incorporate to where it was going to be more couples. And I actually called back because I asked my upline. I asked Rachel, I'm like, what'd you say to get me in? She's like, I just gave them a list of people that I thought would be good, that could have transformations, that could follow the meal plan, that would be all in. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right. And so I kind of reached deeper. I reached out to a couple of the different people from corporate that had contacted me. I'm like, why me? And they're like, well, you may want to talk to this person. So I'd call that person. And they're like, honestly, John, it's because you're not a hobby coach and because you're a guy.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't have enough guys in it. We used to a long, long time ago when it all started. It was a P90X company, you know, but recently it's all women. So we're looking to have more men in it. And so really, you know, it's like, how did a diamond coach get into this super group of all of these amazing people? And that's how, basically, because they saw the people I was following. They saw my transformation. They saw that I was consistent when I was doing it. And they looked at my beautiful bride and be like, this is a power couple right here. Let's sign them up.
Don't believe everything this guy says. Don't.
I like what he says. I agree. You are beautiful. So fast forward. Okay, now you're in this group. You guys are starting what? Day one, your first week. Like, what do you experience? What's it like? What can we expect? What can the people expect who haven't already jumped into week one?
So you guys are way better off than we were.
Okay.
We didn't have no sneak peek. We didn't have any videos of who this Chris guy was. I didn't even Google him. So a lot of people in the group was like, who is this guy? Who's Chris? You know, let me figure out who his story is. I didn't really have time to do that. So when we came into the group, it was just a couple days before that we actually started getting some information, because we ended up getting a FedEx box. And so we were all like, we couldn't show what was in the FedEx box, but everybody and their brothers like, I got a box, surprise, you know? And so that was fun. And then we got to open it up and go, okay, I got some markers. I got some agility markers. We'll probably be using those somewhere. And then there's a couple little videos. But one of the things Chris said, that sounds like your first group's already started, but for the next group, if you didn't do this with the first group, have them. We're doing prep week right now. So our group officially kicks off with meals and with fitness on Monday. Okay. So right now we're just having people go in, write a letter to them future self going, hey, here's who I am right now. And my future self, I want you to remember me now, because that future person is going to be different than I am today. And so that letter is really designed for the end of 21 or 42 or end of a year, whatever that might be. And, you know, different things like, you know, figuring out the food analyzer, which category of food that we're going to be in. So we're kind of like walking them in so that when day one starts, boom, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
But the neat thing with Chris was he was like, a lot of you guys are probably a little anxious about what this 25, 35, 45, and then surprise 50 is going to be all about. And so we actually watch. He goes, I want you to watch it. I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to get in there and watch it like a TV show. So when day one starts, you're not like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? It's like, I want you to know the moves. It's a squat here. It's a lunge here. It's a sidestep hustle over here. And so that really kind of put a lot of people's mind at ease when we got into it. And then we were just able to push harder.
But I think what I can say for your group, those of you that have been doing it for a week, if you're in your second week, I would really say, gosh, I had it on my mind, and then it went out. I would say just be open to letting those emotions come through. I think in the second and third week, your emotions are really going to start to come to a head, and don't
dismiss.
Don't hold those feelings inside, because I have to say I cried more times in this program than any other program, and not because it was hard. It's because Chris gets to the heart of you, and he has you releasing things that maybe you have not released in any other program. So when you feel the tears coming because Chris is getting to you emotionally, let it out. I mean, let it go, because maybe that is what is holding you back from losing that weight, losing those extra pounds. I mean, I have to say, because of my food allergies and food issues, on the entire 6-week program that I did, I lost 1 pound. And going into week 3, we were on a call with Chris, and I asked him, I said, I'm going into week 3 and I haven't lost any weight. And he said, you've got to get that out of your mind. You have got to get losing the weight out of your mind and focus on what you've accomplished so far. You're getting stronger, you're getting, better, you're getting this, you're getting that. And so through the whole program, I only lost 1 pound, but I lost almost 10 inches. And I have to look at that and celebrate that, because my clothes sure fit a whole lot different after losing almost 10 inches, and so I think if you kind of just suppress those feelings, that weight's not going to come off. And I think me doing the second round, already knowing what's involved, I'm hoping that I can relax when I do it this time, and I won't have that anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I'm not losing weight, blah, 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 blah. Just go in there and have fun and follow the meal plan and do the exercises, do it better than I did, the first time around. And maybe 5 pounds will come off. I don't know, but I'm not going to look at it that way. You can't look at the scale. You just have to.
That scale is a liar.
It is a liar. It's a total liar.
That's what we said the whole thing, because and another thing with what Bridget was saying is, if you're not in a small group, like, I don't know how big your group is, but I would pod 2, 3, 4 people together so they can really kind of connect. We have a group, our group's probably going to be around 20 people. That's where we're at right now. Cool. And so I'm going to lump them into like 5 groups of 4. And so when we were going through this, there were other women in our small group, and Bridget was able to kind of talk to them, and they're like, I'm with you. I understand. And
whoa. You're getting corporates calling you.
Yeah, corporate's calling for the next group, right?
Will you be our next challenge?
So that would be a suggestion for you. But yeah, it's like, have everyone weigh in the beginning and in the end. Don't focus about it in the middle.
Okay.
And have them take their before pictures, because I always tell people, you can never go back to your before ever again. Unfortunately, if you do, well, that's a whole nother story. But
yes.
But basically, the aspect of once you release that, we don't lose it. We don't lose it, because we'll find it again.
Right.
So we want to release it and lose it forever. And I'm a big believer in power of words and how you say it. We don't have cheap meals. We have luxury meals, you know? And so just by those shifts in our mind and the words we use and how we look at things is things that Chris has really instilled in us, because everybody in your group that's listening now or later, this is just not another workout. It's just not like, oh, hey, here's another DVD set. Here we go. Let's try this for 21 days. No, this is something that Chris digs deep into your spirit and changes you and who you are. The meal plan is amazing and gives you that step by step, just like if anyone's done the ultimate reset. It's not like, well, yeah, do whatever you want for a protein, whatever you want for a vegetable. No, it's saying you do, this much fish, and you do this much tomato, and you do this.
Stick to the meal plan as much as you can, because that is going to be your biggest success. Is sticking to the meal plan. And I do want to say, don't freak out. I don't know if you guys know this, so I might be telling you something you may not know. So don't freak out if this is your first time hearing this. Week 3, you get no carbs. He cuts your carbs completely. Don't freak out.
How did that feel for you guys, that third week of like, oh my gosh, now what do we do with no carbs? It honestly, and I hate to say it this way, but even though I have allergies and stuff, I still have carbs. I have bread, I have rice, I have things that I can eat. But when you get rid of those, it's not a shock to your system or your body, because the way that he meal preps and prepares you for week 3, when they're finally gone, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, like they're not there. But that's when your body starts changing, is when you're doing week 3 and you have no carbs going in your body. That's when your body just starts getting ripped and all that kind of stuff. And then when you start, the second round and you get to add those carbs back in, you're kind of like, oh, thank goodness I get to add carbs again. But
then you almost start looking for that third week and round 2 to go and, hey, let's go back to, and I don't want to say no carbs, because there's carbs in Energize, there's carbs in fruit, there's carbs in vegetables. So it's not a no carb. It's a very minimal amount of carbs. It's basically no starchy carbs for sure.
And again, he prepares you for that, and so it's not a huge shock to your system.
It was more mental, to be honest, going, oh, whoa, no carbs, and it was more mental. It's like the actual physicality. I have a very physical job that I go to every day, and it's like the physical aspect of it. It wasn't like I was craving it, It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm dying here, and I'm gonna fold, and I'm not gonna make it, and I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna add a little something in there just to get me through the day. That never happened. Never happened once. So for me, it was not a task.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So then rolling into, okay, you finished round 1. Round 2, you can add them back in, and then do the workouts change the workout calendar a little bit?
A little bit. So workout calendar, basically round 1, you're going 22 minutes for the week. Then you go to 35 minutes, and then you go to 45 minutes. Round 2, you get rid of 25 altogether. You never see that again.
Wow.
So you start at 35 for a week, then you go to 45, and then you go to 50. And I think 50 is the easiest.
Wow.
It's longer, but I think 35 and 45 is the challenge.
Cool. So definitely ramping it up throughout the 6 weeks. And do you recommend that most people give themselves that second round? Like, do you see big changes between first round and second round?
Absolutely. I would definitely go into your group as a 2-round group. Okay. Because when you start to do round 2, your body is going to just start taking what you've done previously, and it's just going to get better. And that 35 is going to be easier the second time around, and your body's just going to start changing even more. And if you follow the meal plan and you follow it for 21 days, the workouts, you're going to see results. But if you do round 2 and you follow that meal plan again and you start doing the 35, 45, and 50-minute workouts, your results are going to be incredible.
Wow.
Guaranteed. So.
And it's also a spirit thing too. You know, it's like, yes, you can do 25, 35, 45, and then I'm done, and okay, go away. Then when you're going, okay, wait a minute, I got to go back.
Yeah.
I got to drop back to where I was at 35, and then I'm going to 50 at some point. I can't do that. Oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. There's no way my body will allow me to do that. And so you're digging deep, and you're finding that resolution to go, you know what? Yes, I can do that. And you persevere. And everybody in the group basically said, the first round, I lost the majority of my weight. I really like leaned out and all that. The second one is like where people were like, this is amazing. This is absolutely incredible.
I think you also go into round two. You go into round two. Oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? You
enthusiastically?
No, you
no, not at all.
No,
you long for it. It's like you desire it. You finish round one, going into round two, going, oh my gosh, I need this. I want this. I can't wait for round two. Round two is exciting. Round two is very, very exciting because you literally you crave it. You crave it. You crave it for more. And Chris and his motivations in the workouts are just incredible. And we're not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm telling you that 50-minute speed round is like nothing you've ever experienced. And you won't know what I'm saying until you do it. And then you'd be like, oh, that's what Bridget was talking about.
Yeah. And just kind of show of hands, how many people went to Summit? Okay. Because at Summit, Chris was so engaging in there that it's the man himself that you get during this entire program, and it's so enthusiastic on how people always go, well, what's so great about this program? I'm like, Chris is he makes you really dig deep, search hard, and try harder. And like Bridget said, you crave it. And what I crave is the aspect of like, did I give everything I had? And it was great when we were in the challenge group and people would post stuff. I'd do my workouts in the morning. I'd post my video to the group so other people could see it. And I'll be looking at other people going, yeah, I did better than them. But then I'll be like, but I didn't do as good as that person over there. I can do more. I know I can. So when you go back into round two, you're pushing yourself harder going, I don't want to think about it for the rest of the day going, I could have done better. I could have done a little bit more. I could have, instead of kind of quitting around 5 seconds left to go, did I do 1 or 2 more to finish up that round as strong as I possibly could? And you aim to get better, and you do.
That's amazing. I'll open it up for Q&A. We have about 3.5 minutes left before it cuts out. Before I do, Krista asked, with the allergies, Bridget, did you get regular or vegan Shaco, and then what flavor?
I am on regular chocolate. I am a chocoholic, so I do drink regular. I haven't tried the vegan yet, only just because when I know what works, I don't change it. And I don't drink milk, so if you are on milk, just something else that my sister told me to do is to just get off milk. So I do eat a little cheese. I will admit I do eat cheese, but as far as my Shakeology, I use rice milk. Oh. So it's non-dairy, it's vegan, it's lactose free, it's everything free. So that's what I use for my shakes.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Karen, Debbie, anybody, September, Allison, do you guys have any questions for John or Bridget before we sign off? I muted all of you so I can unmute everybody real quick too. Feel free to just shout it out. Okay, you're all unmuted.
I'm round 2.
Yeah, baby.
I'm kind of like, we're going to be excited? Okay, but I am loving the meal plan. I'm doing a little bit more towards the ketogenic, but I have my husband on board, and he's following Plan D to the letter. I mean, he's even measuring things, which is amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I haven't quite got him to do the exercise thing because his job is pretty physical at work, but he is going to do the core with me this weekend, so we'll see. He also has titanium rods and screws in his back, so some things he's limited with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of limitations going on. I got bad cartilage in my knee. I work at a public utility company. I have a very physical job. So I'm with you. I'd actually have to get up earlier each morning. We go to a chiropractor about every other week because I got a bad back. I got two cracked cartilages in my back. So I'm with you. But with that being said, there's people in the test group that are well over 400 pounds doing it. There's people in test group that have MS that walk up to their spot, put their walker off to the side, and do the best that they can do.
Wow.
And when I look at them going, heck, if they're doing the best that they can do, where is my excuse? So I don't want to hear any excuses from anybody. Do your best. And as Tony Horton says, forget the rest.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, and don't and I highly encourage those of you that follow the modifier. I follow the modifier. There's honestly things in that workout that I cannot do, and I'm not going to hurt myself, and I'm not going to get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this program because it's so hard. Follow the modifier. It's great. Do it.
That's how I'm getting through it, is the modifier.
Yes, and round 2 you will use the modifier as well. But be excited for round 2 because